Hello everyone, EagleX here from ATX EagleX Gaming with today's Market Watch for March 11th. If you guys enjoy this content, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts below on how I do these Market Watches. I've got lots of great feedback. You guys really do enjoy them from what I see, and I'm glad to hear that. I try to do my thing and stand out. Anyways, so let's head back over to Market Watch. So first things first, I just want to go over the sealed product as always. We have our Next Adventure booster box, which is the newest booster set. $65, that's pretty reasonable. It's what we're kind of expecting now for most boxes in this game. The exception being to the 1.0 box, which has lots of staples, older print run, first print run technically of the game, and it should be out of print by quite a bit now. The only thing that really follows up with that is 1.5 and BT9. They both have lots of good staples, so I expect their prices to be the next two that go up even more. And then after our sealed product, I want to talk about the 1-year anniversary box toppers. I know I've kind of mentioned them. Their prices fluctuate a lot more, especially these three here, the Upa, the V, and the Terrier. They fluctuate a lot more. Terrier was bought out this week. It kind of came back down. But I just want to mention, like, even the regular Terrier mod, if you don't believe me, it's like almost $3. But it's not going to be long until this just starts skyrocketing back up in price. This is like a really popular side deck card in this format, for DigiFest at least. This is something you'll see side decks for green and for other colors because it's a memory blocker. Memory blockers are like one of your big side deck cards. Upamon's used in every blue deck. Then Vmon is for future applications and future decks. Next thing I want to talk about is just singles from Next Adventure. If we look here, we see our market price has kind of settled a lot better. We had prices skyrocket, which is really weird for like a new set. And my theory for why we saw prices go really high up and why we actually have multiple SRs that are like above $1 right now is because less people are opening product and most people are just ordering singles. But because more people are ordering singles and less are opening product, you have less supply and higher demand, which artificially, or not artificially, but it raises the price of things. Like Trubymon's like almost a $2 SR. He was going for 3s earlier this week. These guys have kind of just been chilling at the bottom. They're not really played that much at all. But Bokumon's like a $1 common staple. Same with most of the Tamers. They're roughly $1. The Rugamon hit like $5. Emperor Greymon's hitting $6. Like, we have multiple SRs that actually hold their price really well. Then we have a few alt arts that just kind of like flop price wise. So just some things to keep in mind. The Dorumon alt art, this card does have lots of longevity though, because X Antibody, when it gets played more in next set, this is still a 4 of. So this is a card where if you pick it up, it'd be a good long-term hold if you want to play the color. So definitely keep your eye on this card because it's going to be one of the hottest cards of the set. It's like our new Impmon. The only difference is we know directly what it goes into. Impmon has like these applications like EX2 for Beelzemon, but that's really it. This is just part of the X Antibody deck, and it's like one of your more optimal rookies. Staples in the set other than that. Dorugoramon, is also used a lot. His price is a little high right now, though. He's not like your staple 4 of level 6, though, next set. He's like your support that you run 2 of. So if you want to pick these up, I'd probably wait till like 25-ish. I think that's pretty realistic to get in like Discord groups and maybe even like lower 20s. Anyways, so that's our BT7. Now just talking about the box topper promos, we also have these memory boost alt arts. I want to do a quick refresh here. First of all, aren't these things adorable? Like, you have all these little babies eating different foods. I really like the spaghetti with the Koromon. And it's your higher dollar one, red memory boost, because it's used in Jesmon. It's used in some red hybrid decks. Mainly Jesmon, though, is a 4 of to help be more consistent. And I don't know why, but the green memory boost is also a higher dollar. If I had to take a guess, it's because of BT9, how you would use this in green OTK, which I'll get to here at the end of the video. Then the others are like $3 to $4, which is pretty fair. And the old memory boosts are like sub dollar now. Yeah, red and blue being the only ones over $1 really, market-wise. But yeah, so these are fun little things to pick up, collect, and to use for your decks. So keep your eyes out on these. I do expect their prices go up in the long run as these are staples. Next thing to talk about is our pre-release stamps for next adventure. If you guys remember, Jet Selfie is going to hold that high dollar premium. It's a 4 of for a lot of decks. Not even pure yellow decks, but just decks that run yellow hybrids. So that can be like in security control style decks. That can be in blue-yellow hybrids I started seeing popping up. So it's very versatile. Not as much as Burning Greymon. X-Antibody stamps also have a big premium though, because these are max rarity cards that will be played in the future for these decks. But we're starting to see, like, after you really get past these first 6, the prices start becoming a lot more reasonable in like the $15, $20 range for like the higher used ones. And then after that, they go to sub 10, but closer to 10 for some of them still. It's like if I'm picking up stamps, I would be looking for like the $5 range for your rares that are already stamps, like, or already foil, like the CL here, the Blanc here. $5 is pretty reasonable. For uncommon that becomes foil, expect to pay a little bit more on average, but like Electric Rush is like not even that high dollar and it's used. Now we're going to go over staples. Guys, these are the staples for this set because it's very tamer oriented. So if we go through and look at all these staples, we see that Davis is holding his $13, almost $15 mark now. His price has been driving up. Sora and Joe box toppers, because it's your max rarity, it's been bought up even more. It is a very good card this format. And Tommy is your 4 of tamer in this format. If you're playing decks with Koji, he's like a 2 of, maybe 3 of if you're really optimistic on him. But not many builds use that many copies of him. So that's it for blue tamers that I see a lot of play. Green tamers that see play. Mimi sees a lot of play this set. Especially JP. JP is your 4 of tamer for green. He has a crazy strong mainline text of reducing the cost of a hybrid that goes over him. Piercing as an inheritable is also super strong. There's combos where you can actually gain memory with him being on the field and a Pokemon. And then Mimi. Do you guys know the regular Mimi rare is like $6 now? She's been going up. And Ken's the other tamer that kind of sees play this format. Izzy Mimi, not as much, but it's kind of niche. Then down here in the Penny Stonk range, the starter deck Izzy, he sees play also as like a 2 of in green Christmas hybrid decks. So just be mindful of these cards if you plan on playing green. Yellow has a premium right now because it's like one of the more hyped decks to play. Got box topper TK at 26. That's probably the highest it'll be going unless this gets crazy good results. TK Kari stamp, $15 to $20 is pretty reasonable. I think this is a little bit on the higher end, but it makes sense, honestly. Zoe box topper, $12. I think that's very fair. Last week she was like, I think 6 to 8. So this is a price where I feel she's more justified at. TP3 TK, regular TK, we've talked about TKs. They're just staples. They're going to be higher dollar. And you see Kari's back down to 5. She doesn't see play really this format. You'd rather play a TK Kari over her most of the time. But she does always proc at 3 security or less, while this may not proc at those times. So just 2 things to keep in mind if you're building your deck. And security buffing TKs, I'm surprised these are seeing as much play, but it does make sense as it can counter your opponent's deck that tries to OTK you. Then red, we saw Ty spiking this week, guys. It's not just used in Jesmon, it's also used in Red Hybrid, because if you do the Emperor Greymon Warp, you instantly get all your sources for Ty to be live. So, was he justified his prices? Yeah, he's going to be going up. This one will probably go down and cool off a little bit once Red Hybrid hype's over, and I think we start seeing more results. It's a good deck, but I don't know if it's justifying this price. Now we go over here. This is like my other Tamers tab of ones you can look at. The main one looking at, though, is Analog Youth. He was bought out this week, and he's been going back down. His market price is slowly going up. EX1 is a bad set to open. This is like one of the few good things to get from it. So it makes sense his price is being held up. Then Nokia is another card I do want to mention towards the end here, but it will be used in the future. Then Purple Kari Box Topper, she's just a really good card in this format, so she is starting to see a lot more play. Then other staples I want to point out, Upamon eggs. Guys, these cards are going to be going up. If you don't have them, you may want to scoop them up now, as this is your 4 of egg in blue still. And this is used if you have a yellow base for yellow decks, or any color decks with yellow. Then do you guys know Dashback Guildemon's being bought up even more? It's 10 plus bucks now. And he's almost bought out, so if you guys need this for your deck, I would get these sooner than later. I know you're kind of following a little hype train of buying him in your copies now, but once he's gone, he's going to be going up. He's a promo that sees play. That's like a formula for an expensive card. You guys remember Tsunorizumon? Similar formula. This card does see play. Japan didn't have him in their format, so this is a little bit more of a sleeper for us. But for deck builders, this is a very good card for red-based decks. Now, do you guys know TP4 is actually on TCG Player now? We do have a promo Tyrannomon card, but the others are just reprint alt arts. There's no reason you need to pay a premium. Just give it time. It will be coming to your locals, and you will be able to open these sometime soon. Yes, Delayed Debbie's going to hold a higher price for a longer time because she's more desired. It's her new max rarity version, and it honestly is a nice art. But just give it time. These will come into the market, and they'll crash like all the other tournament pack cards. And similar thing with judge cards here. If you guys don't know, if you judge an official Digimon event, you'll be awarded and compensated with judge packs. And these are going to be given out the entire 2022 season. So right now they're kind of scarce because Nationals is the only thing that has handed these out, and that's why the market price is unavailable, because there's just not a lot in the market. But you will see the prices go down, and these are all full foil cards, something that a lot of players do desire. So if you're looking out for these, I don't really know what to gauge a price on for, but I think you can get most of them for sub 30. The only ones you probably won't get sub 30 is your Diaboromon, your Greymon. Yeah, I think it's just going to be those two that if you have these two stamps, they'll be over 30. The others, I think they're going to be like 20-ish, to be honest with y'all. Now, we talked about current formats, current cards that are out. Now we're going to talk about future formats. So first, I have BT8 pulled up in front of me. We talked about BT8 last week. We talked about, here, let me pull up one of my favorite things to look at, VMons. VMon is going to be a card that sees more play. Armor decks use VMon. Jamming VMon in particular is a good VMon. The other good ones that you'll see a lot of play are the starter deck VMon, and then you'll see a little bit of the EX1 VMon as well. Other staples to look at, Koromon eggs. If you guys don't know, red Koromon egg is like a very good staple card. We can look it up, BT5001, but when you have the new black-red War Greymon decks, it becomes one of the eggs you use more frequently. If we look right here, this is kind of like one of the builds you'll see a lot, but this red-black War Greymon uses Nokia, and it also uses the Koromon egg as a 4 of because it's just a free draw most of the time. You also see this Gurimon egg, and he's also the other one you might run as a 4 of. But nonetheless, these are like your staple eggs. So if you want to play max rarity, I do expect this egg to keep going up as it does see more play. And even the stamped ones are like $4. It might be worth looking into if you don't like this art, or you just want a cheaper max rarity to hold on to. Then, I want to emphasize this every week, guys, but when Mastodon Star Deck comes out, you run 4 of these, and you run 4 of these. We don't get them until the end of our BT8 format, that's why I have it pulled up here. But Zork Defeat is a 4 of in that format, along with Magna Angemon. And lastly, we're going to wrap up with some BT9. Did you guys know that Grand Quagmon promo was bought out this week? Or bought up, I should say. It's $8 now. I know this was like 88 cents for the longest time, and it's just been spiking. It has a lot of play in Japan. It is like the tier 1 green deck and one of the decks to beat. Like if we look at green already, it's starting to be flooding into the results. But right now it's Grandis Quagamon, it's Gaiomon, and it's X Antibody. I think it's just black is what you would type in to find it. Yeah, because it's X Antibody. Like, those are the 3 decks you see a lot of play right now. X Antibody. The only card that we see a lot of play in those decks is sometimes it's Alphamon, which to keep an eye out for price-wise. And like I was saying, the Dorumon and Dorugreymon. Those see a lot of play in those decks. And then Grandis Quagamon uses 4 Grand Quagamon promo and 4 Jamming Palmon typically. So I expect these to hold prices. The Palmon will see a little bit of a dip as Digifest will have a reprint of this card also. So guys, if you enjoy this Market Watch, please let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching and take care, y'all.